Hey, good morning. I know I'm wiggling in here back here to say howdy to you. It's time for our it's time for our Monday morning barn chat, which today is not being held in the barn, mainly because awful noisy over there today, and it's pretty hot outside. I'm wearing my finest here, my biggest, baggiest, sleeveless T-shirt, and so forth. It's warm and humid down here right now. And I'm kind of hoping I got this camera set up right and I'm just not having to redo it all. Anyway, how are y'all this morning? It's been a hectic morning for me. Let's talk a couple minutes. First, I may owe some of you an apology. I did that Memorial Day chat and probably should not have. And I'm kind of just trying to decide whether or not I'm going to even leave that video up. I may take it down. Please understand that to me it's a very sacred day, and I was a little bit irritated with what I'd seen going on, and probably was not appropriate for this channel. It's not what I wanted to put on this channel. So I try to stay away from politics and religion. Because not everybody's going to agree with me, and that's fine. If we were all totally like-minded, what a boring world this would be, wouldn't it? So, if I offended you with it, I apologize. If I made you think a little bit, that was really the intention, was to get folks to start at least kind of looking at some of these things. But it was not, the best way to put it, it is not what I wanted this channel to be about, and so it's kind of inappropriate for the channel, and like I said, I may end up taking that video totally down. Anyway, let's move on to better things. Went to the farmer's market Saturday, sold lots of chickens, my word. Didn't have that terribly many, and actually by the time I'd untarped things and got everybody unloaded, man, I sold out about half of it. It was a pretty busy day down there, and was really selling a lot of chickens. As a matter of fact, if I'd have had 100 more lavender Orpington chickens, I could have sold every one of them, because I had a lot of people wanting them. They're very beautiful birds, and they were in big demand, surprisingly. And so when I came home, to tell you a funny story, I came home and I told the wife, I said, we're really going to have to pull a lot of the lavender Orpington eggs, because I said the demand is way the heck up there for lavender chicks. And she got a real funny look on her face. And I asked her what, and she pulls out this money and lays it on the table. And she says, I sold some hens today. I said, oh, great. And she says, because we only had 4 lavender Orpington hens left from the time we culled the 9 layers. And these girls weren't egg a day. They were maybe every other day or every 2 days. So they were coming up for the next cull anyway. But I took all the chicks we had on the lavender Orpingtons and ran them down to the sale, figuring, I can always hatch out more. It turns out I've got 1 lavender Orpington hen left. I guess my jaw pretty much dropped when she told me. And I said, there's a big demand for those birds. And you're telling me now we're down to 1 hen that may not even be laying eggs? But on the good side, we had a group of eggs that have been recently picked up, and we checked the cartons, and there's some lavender, appeared to be they're Orpington eggs. Whether or not they're the lavenders or not, I'm not sure. But I'm going to incubate them and find out. They look to be. So hopefully that'll all turn out, and we'll get some more hens, and life will be good. But yeah, it was kind of a panicky thing. But yeah, it was a good Saturday sales. I was surprised, and like I said, she was here at home, and she was sold some hens, and that's all good. So now we're just kind of, I don't know that we'll be selling anymore. We've got a few roosters over in the summer coop that we're going to be culling out, putting in the freezer. And let me think here. Once I get them culled out, I'm going to move the cuckoo marans over there to, because in that area, even with the gardens, we can free range the birds. So we're going to give them an opportunity to get out and experience free ranging a little bit. Sold all the chicks we had, the small chicks, except for I think a dozen of them. And really, I probably would have sold them too if it hadn't been for we had some real nasty thunderstorms come through Saturday and pretty much washed the farmer's market out. So that was a problem. so I still got 12 chicks, none of them lavender orpingtons. We sold all of them. But you know, we'll pick up a few more laying hens and a few roos, which we're going to end up, you know, putting in the freezer this year. Let's see what else is going on down here. I'll be putting up a video of one of our breeding pens and how we went about all that. I was out online late last night. When I came in last night, we went over to see some friends, and we got back late, fairly late. I went out online for a little bit, kind of looking around to see what the hottest topics out there were. Not that I use them, needless to say, but to see what the hottest topics were out there. And I ran across some where they were talking about some old school tools that one lady was using, and I thought, yeah, that's great. You know, it's got a small place, got about an acre, and you know, putting organic matter down on your soil to build your soil. Agree with that 150%. I was watching her swing this sigh around and stuff, and the girl was working hard. But it was when she told the audience what she paid for that thing, my jaw dropped. Wow, you know, it was in excess of $300. And it's like, seriously? I bought one. Oh, I guess it was a couple of years back at a farm auction, nice one. Thing didn't look like it was hardly used, and I think I paid like $25 for it. It needed to be sharpened, but you know, folks, I want to stress to you again, you know, don't jump out here online every time you need something and go look for the latest and greatest, because you're throwing a lot of money away. You really are. You know, it's and later on, if things get a little rough, you're going to be standing there wanting that money back, and there's no way to recover. Because if you put that up for sale somewhere, you're going to probably get $25 for it. Because let's face facts, not a lot of people are out there clearing their land with scythes. I mean, it's number one, you kill yourself if you've got any kind of acreage at all. And number two, there's just a lot of easier ways to do it. But back to what you know, the topic of her talk was, and I really like that, is if you got poor soil, whether you bush hog it or mow it or whatever you're going to do, start putting organic matter down on it. If you get organic matter down on it now, and don't get out there with a rake and rake up your lawn clippings or your field clippings and feed it to your livestock. Don't even let your livestock back in those pastures till that what you put down has begun to deteriorate and turn brown. If you leave that on your fields, it works into the soil and rebuilds your soil. Okay, it's one of the ways you bring it back to life. So that end of it, I'm in total agreement with, and I think that dead on point for something like that. Paying $350 for a sigh, I think she could have done better. Okay, and kept that money in her pocket. Not everybody agrees with me. Sometimes they think that you know, it's better to to run out and get with the latest and greatest. And I'm sorry, even in good times, that can get a little crazy. And when you got all that kind of money, sooner or later the tough times come. I mean, it happens to just about every family. Everybody runs into tough times sooner or later, and you start looking around at, man, did I really have to spend that much money on that? And no, you don't. Hit the auctions. They're a lot of fun, for one. You see some things you don't normally see, and it's kind of like an evening out, you know. Go to the estate sales and the farm sales and things of that nature. And it's not like we go to them every weekend, but we do try to stay on top of them because there's good buys to be found, and you save a lot of money. So utilize that, folks. I mean, seriously, utilize that. There's no point in spending money you don't need to spend. Okay. Oh, what else? Everybody's doing good. We're moving chickens around. I'm getting ready to post some more videos on how we move chickens through the system. Mainly because, you know, we have moved a lot of chickens through our system this spring. And when it comes to lavender orphans, it's too many of them. But, you know, it's a good, I'd rather be short because we sold them for money than long and having to feed them and can't get rid of them. So I think it was a blessing. So, and we can rebuild our lavender flock with what we have available to us. So anyway, that's pretty much it coming from down here today. We are still working on new coops. Lord, I feel like I've been working on new coops forever now, but working on new coops. But hopefully tomorrow I get to start in on getting the rest of this old barn taken down, because I want by next through the winter, I want to get my greenhouse built and all that so that it's ready to go. Plus, we're going to kind of set it up as winter housing for the flock. It'll stay a little warmer and so forth. Anyway, I did want to show you something while I had you in the house today. Other than the fact I've got some really good coffee going on here, and I'm going to take a drink. Oh, man, that's good. Anyway, I will kind of show you the tail end before I show you the process of this, but we just completed some plank flooring here in the house. We've been working on, as time permits, working on it, and it turned out looking pretty good. I really kind of like how it looks. Kind of looks like old antique plank flooring. It's nothing really more than plywood, but it turned out looking real good. So I'm going to try to do this without shaking you around or cutting this thing off, and we'll see how it goes. So hang on for just a minute while I try to move this camera around and flip you around, and we'll just take a look at this. This right here, folks, is plywood. It is just plain Jane, out of Lowe's plywood. Cut into 8-inch wide strips and 7-inch wide strips. We did throw a few runs in there of different size to kind of give it that went with what you had look. Anyway, my wife had found this on Pinterest. Ignore the tools laying there. I'm still tinkering with door trims and stuff like that. Wife had found this idea on Pinterest. She ran with it. Thought it was a good idea. She spent a lot of time getting these boards stained to where, you know, they had some common colors running through it, but no two boards were exactly the same. And I think she nailed it. So it turned out looking real good. It's very cheap. You can't. This floor was cheaper to do than you know, regular that cheap laminate stuff. It's nothing more than particle board with contact paper on top. It's a very inexpensive floor, and turned out looking pretty good. So anyway, that was all that. And I've got some videos in the works right now that I'm in the process of trying to get edited, but the editing's taking me forever, and I just in spring and summer here I don't have a lot of time for it. But we'll get them out to you and show you the step-by-steps to how to do this. And it's real simple. If you have any basic, very basic carpentry skills, it's a simple floor to install. So anyway, that's all we got from down here. I hope this finds you well and having an absolutely tremendous day. And we will talk to you later. Bye.